seeing people out there, ecumenicalists out there, even whether it's in Christianity or in this walk, saying, oh, there are brothers in this and that. I'm like, no, this has got put to a stop. They do not serve the same Messiah. They do not. No. Their Messiah, they claim, is the brother of Lucifer, okay? They think that the Messiah is a created angel, okay? So they're no better than Jehovah's Witnesses at all. So, but anyway, so that will be a future study exposing Mormonism and all that. And I'm basically going to call it, we're live now. So announcement, everyone, we will be doing an expose, Yahuwah willing, very soon about Mormonism. It's going to be called the Mormonism, Jehovah Witness, and Gnostic connection. And so we will be going into the theology and exposing the theology of those religions and how they tie together and how they agree on certain things. And it will be designed to expose the fallacy of Mormonism and all that. So anyway, just wanted to make a public announcement about that. But we're back. We're going to be doing Ayub 35 to 36. I think we have a couple mishpachah here that have not read yet. Let's see here. Who hasn't read in a while? Brother Dennis, would you like to read Ayub chapter 35? Brother
Ayub,
Dennis? Yep.
Oh, let's see. Chapter 35?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Ayub, chapter 35. And Elihu responded and said, do you think this is right? Do you say, my righteousness is more than that of Allah or Yahuwah? Do you say, of what use is it to you? What do I gain more than if I had sinned? Let me answer you and your friends with you. Look to the Shamayim, or heavens, and see, and consider the clouds which are higher than you. If you sin, what would you do against him? If your transgressions are increased, what would you do to him? If you are righteous, what do you give him? Or what does he receive from your hand? Your wrong is for a man like yourself, and your righteousness for a son of man. Because of the multitude of oppressions, they cry out. They cry out for help because of the arm of the many. And no one says, where is Yahuwah, my maker, who gives songs in the night, teaching us more than the beasts of the earth, and makes us wiser than the birds of the Shamayim? There they cry, but he answers not, because of the pride of evil ones. Okay, it is false that Yahuwah does not hear, and that the Almighty pays no attention to it. Although you say you do not see him, yet right ruling is before him, and you wait for him. Now, is it for nothing that his displeasure has come? Yet he has not taken note of extreme arrogance. So Ayub opens his mouth in vain. He increases words without knowledge.
All right, that was a pretty short chapter.
Yeah.
But none said, where is the Elua that made you, who points the night watches? Now, I find that interesting there in verse 10. Appoints the night watches. Now, this is something I haven't fully looked into, but it seems like that Yahuwah would appoint someone in Israel to, for night watches, and I guess to be a watchman. Kind of. Wow. Okay. ESV. Where are you getting Psalms? What the? Mazarites, I want to kill y'all. How does it go from Psalms in the night to night watches? How do you that's not even the same thing. Go ahead, brother Yahusha.
On the night watches, it's been a while since I've looked into those hours, but I do remember looking into it when I was at Jeff's, and he didn't like it. Nobody liked it when I bring this up, but from what I've looked into, they ancient Yashar did not sleep all throughout the night. They would divide the night into I believe the night would start at 9, from 9 to 6 in the morning. So that's 10. So you had 3 periods of 3, and it would be divided into those periods. And they would have, night watches, prayer watches, divided amidst themselves.
Shoot, me and my mom wake up about 3 or 4 times in the night, so that's not hard for us to do. That's probably the easiest commandment for us to do, just because we never get a full 8 to 10 hours of sleep without waking up. So yeah, that would be easy for us to do. Yeah, that's
I think it needs to be done.
We'll have 4 hours here, 4 hours there, and it's a mess. That's why half the time I'm getting on here on Zoom, and you guys can get the feeling I'm half awake.
That's funny.
Beholds them that perform. But where does the Masoretic then get Psalms in the night?
I don't know.
What? That's a whole different concept. That's so weird. It's I don't know. It's weird. For he is not regarding his wrath, nor has he noticed severely any trespass. I don't like how the ESV paraphrases that one either. Doesn't take much note of transgression. I don't like that one. Septuagint sounds a little bit better. Nor has he noticed severely any trespass. So meaning that his wrath is not on you. He knows that you've messed up, but his wrath is not burning against you. That's the context there that the Septuagint gives, that he hasn't severely noticed. He's not with an eyeglass, trying to focus on you, versus the ESV makes it sound like he's not noticing your sins at all. It's sometimes the ESV, man, they paraphrase a little too much. They do it too much. Let Ayub vainly open his mouth in ignorance of multiple words. Interesting. Masoretic seems to add without knowledge. So again, I don't know, man. They had some vendetta against Job, I really think. They really add things there. And that. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Wouldn't ignorance be the same thing as without knowledge?
Oh, I didn't see the word ignorance. That's my bad on that one. Oh, yeah, I see there. In ignorance. Okay, yeah, my bad. So it's actually saying the same thing. Never mind. Yeah, ignorance. Ignorance, well, without knowledge is more like stupidity. Ignorance would be that you're unaware of something usually. When someone says ignorance, that's being unaware. Sins and ignorance usually is okay, especially with unwillful. Well, there's 2 types of ignorance, actually. There's willful and unwillful. So if the Septuagint here is talking about unwillful ignorance, it's actually really different than the Masoretic. The Masoretic would be calling them stupid or an idiot. Without knowledge, you're you're empty head. You don't have knowledge. So yeah, it's somewhat similar, but the Masoretic seems to be more saying that he's just stupid or dumb and he doesn't have knowledge. It seems like it's saying. I could be wrong, but that seems like what the idea it's giving there. So which doesn't make any sense because we see otherwise in the book. We see otherwise in the whole book where he knows about the offerings, he knows about this, he knows about that. He's not dumb. So I think ignorance is a little bit better. It's a little bit better, like being unaware of something. Unwillful ignorance would be like you're not aware of something. Bear with me a little and I will show you. Okay, so you know what? I think I'm going to finish 36 off, Russ. Let's see here. So Ayub 36, Eliyahu further continued and said, wait for me a little while that I may teach you, for there's yet speech in me. Huh. I want to use a different translation because I think the ESV is adding certain things. Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't like how the ESV is doing that. There's paraphrasing and then there's like adding the scripture. I mean, that's a little crazy. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. No, it's actually there in the Masoretic. Okay. For Aloha. That's interesting. So he would be speaking for Yahuwah. He's claiming that he's speaking for him. Last time I checked, Yahuwah doesn't need anyone to speak on his behalf. Last time I checked. So yeah, so that seems to be added in there. Wait for yet a little while, verse 2, that I may teach you, for there's yet speech in me. Having fetched my knowledge from afar according to my works. Yeah, I noticed, man, the Masoretic's adding a lot here. It's almost like they're trying to make Elihu look better than he is. And they're trying to make it look like he's not doing it pridefully, but he's doing it for Yahuwah. They're adding certain phrases here. Like righteousness to my maker is not in the Septuagint. It's interesting. So I will speak righteous things truly, and you shall not unrighteously receive unrighteous words. And again, they're adding something. This is very strange. One. With you. Right, so we're going to verse 5 here. But know that Yahuwah will not cast off his man, being mighty in the strength of wisdom. So right there, we see another difference there. Masoretic has Alua, and the Septuagint has Yahuwah. You can only know that. Verse 6, he will not by any means save alive the wicked, and he will grant the right ruling of the poor. He will not turn away his eyes from the righteous, but with kings on the throne, and he will establish them in triumph, and they shall be exalted. Okay. If they are bound in shackles, caught in the cords of afflictions, he shall recount to them their works and their transgressions, for such will act with violence. Interesting. But he will hearken to the righteous, and he has said that they shall turn from their unrighteousness. If they should hear and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity and their years in honor. but he preserves not the wicked because they are not willing to know Yahuwah. Interesting. So the Septuagint says, but he preserves not the wicked because they are not willing to know Yahuwah, and because when reproved, they were disobedient. And hypocrites in heart will array wrath. They will not cry because he has bound them.
There's some prosperity gospel going on in here.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of his friends had that concept of if you do right,
You'll be in prosperous, you'll
Yeah.
have everything.
because they afflicted the weak and the helpless, and he will vindicate the right ruling of the meek. Okay, so he has also enticed you out of the mouth of the enemy. Deep gulf rushing stream beneath it, and the table came down full of fatness. Right ruling shall not fail from the righteous. But there shall be wrath upon the wicked by the reason of the wickedness of the bribes which they receive for lawlessnesses. Interesting. For lawlessnesses is not in the Masoretic. That's kind of interesting. Something strange is going on. This is verse 19. Let not your mind willingly turn you aside from the petition of the feeble that are in distress, and draw not forth all the mighty by night, so that the people should go up instead of them. But take heed lest you do that which is wrong, for of this you have made choice because of poverty. Behold, the mighty one shall prevail by his strength. For who is powerful as he? And who is he that examines his works? Or who can say he has worked unrighteousness? Remember that his works are great, those which men have attempted. Every man has seen in himself how many mortals are wounded. Behold, the mighty one is great. We shall know the number of years is even infinite. And the drops of rain are numbered by him, shall be poured out in rain to form a cloud. The ancient shall flow, and the clouds overshadow innumerable mortals. That's interesting. He has fixed a time to cattle, and they know the order of rest. By all these, your understanding is not astonished, neither is your mind disturbed in body. Wow, that's interesting. We got practically a whole paragraph missing in the Masoretic there. So 36 verse 28 there has all of this up here missing. So basically right here, this is all missing here. So very weird. And though one should understand the outspreadings of the clouds, the measure of his tabernacle, behold, he will stretch his bow against him, and he covers the bottom of the sea. That's an interesting difference. It says bow versus light. Interesting. For by them he will rightly rule the nations. He will give food to him that has strength. He has hidden the light in hands and given charge concerning it to the interposing. Yahuwah will declare concerning this, his friend, a portion also for the unrighteous. So it seems like that last verse there is saying that Yahuwah has a portion for someone that he considers his friend or his companion, but he also has a portion for the wicked. Now that's a weird difference there in verse 33. Noise declares concerning him, also the cattle to what is to come up. That is a weird difference there. That's what I mean by, like, you'll start seeing huge differences in the book of Job. Like, just what? Like, okay. Go ahead, Brother Yahusha.
The Charles Thompson version of 31, verse 31 makes a lot more sense than the LXX or the Complete Apostles Bible. You have your normal reading, for by them he will judge the nations, he will give food to him that has strength. I guess if you read it in context, you could see that he's talking about by them, he's talking about these things that he just talked about, like rain, sea, etc. But if you go to the Charles Thompson, it just makes complete sense. It says, for with what he judges nations, he can give food in abundance. So meaning if he uses the elements to judge the nations, he can use these same things to give food in abundance.
Yeah, like the storms, rain, all the all the weather that he controls. Yeah. What's also interesting too is that the Masoretic in the previous verse says light, and in the Septuagint says bow. I wonder if bow is talking about the rainbow, or
I would imagine so.
Yeah. So light, I don't know how you fit light into the next verse. That kind of doesn't matter. I don't know. Unless it's allegorically talking about Yahusha. I mean, that works, but light of itself, I don't know how. That's a little weird. So, yeah. So that's, I mean, light of itself will give you food if you have crops. The sunlight and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely easier to see in the Septuagint what it's talking about in context. So, but anyway, that's the end of today's reading. So we just did Ayub, Job 35 and 36. So please stay tuned, everyone. We will be, Yahuwah willing, we will be going into Ayub's 37, 38 next time. And now we'll be going also into Numbers 19 and 20. So just want to say Shabbat Shalom to all of our brothers and sisters out there. Have a great rest of your Shabbat, and see you next time.